How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the R2 of Sports channel, where today I'll be going through my Premier League predictions for match week 17. I'll also be going through some fantasy Premier League players that I do and don't like. So make sure you stick around for the whole video to find out who that might be. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's get right into the predictions. Our first match is between Brentford and Manchester United. Brentford are in quite an interesting form right now. They only have one loss in the last 5 games, but they only have one clean sheet in their last 11 as well. I think they might struggle to score in this game. Manchester United's keeping a lot of clean sheets since signing Rangnick as their new manager, as well as Ivan Toney. He is supposed to miss this game as well. So I'm not too confident in Brentford scoring, and I do like the Manchester United clean sheet possibilities. Manchester United have definitely turned their defense around after that terrible defensive start. So I think United will definitely get the better of the two teams. They are currently on a 3-match win streak, as well as a 4-match unbeaten run. So I like them continuing this. They're only getting about a goal a game since Rangnick came in. So I think they will improve that record and score a lot this game. I have Manchester United win this game 3-0. Our second match of Tuesday is between Norwich City and Aston Villa. Aston Villa, I feel like, is definitely the favorite of the two coming into this game. Under Gerrard, they've just looked like a great team so far. Although last game wasn't too pretty, they had 0 shots on target and just overall didn't look very good. So I think for them to improve, they need to get, for one, Ollie Watkins more involved in the game. I think he's definitely their best player on the team in terms of attacking wise. So getting him involved in scoring goals is, I think, what's going to separate them from Norwich City in this game. And two, I think they need to get more set pieces. As we could see from their game against Leicester City, scored 2 goals with Konsa from corners. So you have him and Tyrone Ming. So I think they can definitely be a threat if they get those set pieces. But I think Norwich also could consider having an upper hand in this situation. This is Dean Smith's former team that he's going up against that he was fired from 3 weeks ago. So I think he definitely has a lot of information on this team where he's somehow going to get some sort of result out of this. Norwich, despite their decent form, have lost 2 straight in a row, one to Manchester United, one to Tottenham. So not bad losses, but definitely hurts the form, not getting any points out of those games. They also have no goals in 3 out of their last 4 games. So I think it's a question whether or not they will score. I think if they do score, they'll get at least a point. Overall, though, I can see Dean Smith getting a point out of this game. So I'm going to have it as a 1-1 draw. Our final match of Tuesday is between Manchester City and Leeds United. Manchester City come in this as a huge betting favorite, so I'm definitely expecting Manchester City to put on quite a performance for this game. But they are going to be without João Cancelo. He accumulated too many yellow cards, so he will not be there for this game. So it will most likely be Kyle Walker and Zinchenko as those outside backs for this game. We'll see how they perform in this defensively. Without Cancelo, I can definitely see them getting scored on at least once because the Leeds are scoring quite a lot of goals recently. I believe they have at least 2 goals in the last 2 games. So I could definitely see them scoring at least 1 goal. Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden are both back. They both came on as subs. So I think they definitely should have scored more against Wolves this last week, but we'll see how they perform against Leeds. Leeds concede a lot of goals, so I'm not expecting too much out of Leeds, but I do think they will score a goal. Their last official loss to Manchester City in the Premier League was in 2003. So I think that streak is going to break, and Manchester City is going to win this game 3-1. Heading into our Wednesday games, the first match we have is between Brighton and Wolves. Wolves, I'm not too hopeful about them at all. Raul Jimenez picked up a red card within 30 seconds of getting a yellow card. So I'm not too hopeful in their attack at all. They have no goals in their last 4 games, and their best striker has a red card and won't be able to play this game. So I don't think they're going to score in this game personally. For Brighton, though, they're currently on the active longest winless streak. So they're currently 10 games without a win. So we'll see if that continues. They did get a week off because the Tottenham game got delayed. So I think they'll have a much better chance, and I think they potentially could break that streak in this game. Neil Maupay has scored in 2 straight games. So I actually transferred him in over Jimenez because Jimenez just has the red card, has some tough games coming up. So I think Neil Maupay, cheaper option, and I think he can definitely get a few more goals. So I think overall, Brighton will win this game 1-0. Heading into the next game of Wednesday, it's between Crystal Palace and Southampton. Crystal Palace just came off a huge result against Everton, winning 3-1. Conor Gallagher looked absolutely fantastic. The defense for Crystal Palace looked pretty good as well. I think a good player to bring in could be Mark Gay. He scored a couple of goals this season and looks very strong defensively. And Palace have a pretty good schedule coming up recently where I think they will be able to keep some clean sheets. So I think he's definitely a player to watch or just bring in immediately because I believe he's only 4.5 million. For Southampton, they have no wins in the last 5 games. They're conceding more than 2 goals a game on average. So I think Southampton could end up conceding a lot of goals this game because Crystal Palace are a pretty strong attacking team, but we'll see how they end up faring in this game. Overall, I'm going to say Palace, since they are at Selhurst Park. They've only lost 1 game at home this year. I think they'll win this game 2-0. Our next match is between Burnley and Watford. These two teams have quite a strange record. Burnley, for the last 5 games, the under has hit in 4 out of 5 games. So there's been under 2.5 goals in each of those games. For Watford, the over has hit in 5 out of 5 games. So over 2.5 goals in all 5 of their last 5 games. So very interesting. Burnley has no wins in those last 5 games, and Watford has 4 straight losses. So definitely interesting record wise. No Maxwell Cornet for this game, I believe. So that's a big attacking loss for Burnley, but they are a pretty good set piece team. So I think they could definitely score a set piece in this game. For Watford, Emmanuel Dennis looks fantastic. 5 goals, 4 assists in his last 7 games. So I could definitely see him getting something. So overall, I think it could be a pretty even game. So I'm going to sit on the fence and say it's going to be a 1-1 draw. For our last game of Wednesday, it is between Arsenal and West Ham United. This game, I think, has potential to be the best game of the week. West Ham United, although they are in 4th place right now, they are a pretty inconsistent team overall. Just came off a 0-0 draw versus Burnley, where they looked pretty dominant, but didn't look too big of a goal threat in that game. And then they also had that game against Chelsea where they won 3-2. So they are inconsistent in terms of goal scoring. This has been, I think, their issue the whole season. Mikel Antonio, as good as he was at the start of the season, doesn't look anything like his former self. 0 goals in his last 7 games. So we'll see if that changes, if he can maybe turn something around against Arsenal. But Arsenal's defenders are actually all playing really well in this last game. Kieran Tierney has assists in back-to-back games. Ramsdale looked really good last game, so I think he could have another clean sheet potentially this game. Gabriel scored a goal, and then for their midfield, Martin Odegaard scored in 2 straight games. So I think there's a lot of Arsenal prospects that look really good in fantasy right now. So I would definitely have at least 1 or 2 Arsenal players in your team. Overall, I think I like Arsenal better of the 2 teams, especially because the game's being played at Arsenal's home stadium. So overall, I'm going to say Arsenal's going to win this game 2-1. Heading into our final day of the week, our first matchup we're going to be going into is Leicester City versus Tottenham. I'm not too sure what to predict for this game. Tottenham just had their first training day on Sunday since their massive COVID outbreak in their team. So I don't even know who's healthy for them right now. So I don't know who's even playing defense or up top for them. There's rumors just their good players have it, that just rotation players have it. So I don't necessarily know who has COVID on their team. So I can't make any judgment calls for them right now. I can make judgment calls for Leicester, though. Just came off a 4-0 statement win against Newcastle. First clean sheet since the first game of the season. And Jamie Vardy didn't even play in the game. You have James Maddison looking fantastic. Patson Daka looked great that game as well. So I think they'll definitely continue that form into this game, get another clean sheet, and win the game 2-0. Next game we'll be going through is Chelsea versus Everton. Chelsea just barely scraping wins together, especially against Leeds. I think that was a very poor result by them. They ended up winning the game 3-2, but they had to get 2 penalties just to win the game. So poor result by them just to scrape out a win like that. I think they should definitely be winning a lot more than that. definitely in a better fashion too. I think an issue is their lineup and who they're playing where. Timo Werner's playing as a winger, which I don't think he should be playing as a winger. I think he should be playing as a secondary striker. Romelu Lukaku played 3 minutes in the game, so I know he's not fully healthy, but I think he should definitely be given more time than just 3 minutes. So I think Chelsea, their issue is that they're not out coaching teams, which you would want them to outcoach teams, kind of like how Klopp does it and Pep does it. You would think that they'd be able to outcoach teams, but that hasn't been the case at all this year. So we'll see how they can adapt to this game. I think they'll definitely have a big turning point because Everton has been very bad this season over the last few games. Um, they they had no good players against Crystal Palace. Everyone looked god awful in their team. Richarlison very frustrated. He definitely looks like he won that move to PSG, especially now just sitting on the bench. I think they panned to him about 10 times. So we'll see if he even wants to play in this game. A big issue that I have with Everton, they just spend money on players and just do nothing with them. For example, they're playing Rondon when they loaned out Moise Kean. So I don't know what's going on with them. I'd rather have Moise Kean starting for my team than Solomon Rondon. So something's definitely wrong with the front office that needs to change. Until that happens, though, I can't see Everton doing anything well. A lot of bottom 10 finishes, bottom 8 finishes potentially in their future lined up, especially when we only spend 2 million in transfer window. Enough of Everton ranching though. I think Chelsea definitely going to be the better team against a poor Everton team. I have them winning this game 4-1. Our final game this week is between Liverpool and Newcastle. Newcastle, absolutely terrible, lost 4-0 to Leicester City, no goal threat at all. Alan St. Maximin has 1 goal contribution in his last 10 games. They definitely need to change his position around. Ever since Eddie Howe came in, he just hasn't looked very good at all. Looked like he's been in the wrong position. Hasn't really looked like he's known what is going on in the match. So we'll see if they change his position around. I don't think they stand a chance in this game, quite honestly. Liverpool, although they've only scored 1 goal in each of their last 2 games, and they've drawn their last 2 games against Newcastle, I think they're definitely going to blow Newcastle out the water. Salah is definitely a good captain choice for this week. I think he could definitely score a goal. He did score a penalty last week, so that was his only goal contribution. No bonus points for him. I think a player that I'm actually going to probably captain this week is Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think he could have a huge week on that right wing, just sending in a bunch of crosses, even on corners and free kicks. I think he's going to have a huge day. So he's probably going to be my captain pick for this week. And overall, I think Liverpool will get the clean sheet and a few goals and win this game 3-0. Those are my Premier League predictions for match week 17. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as well as comment down below any player suggestions you have for this week or just your predictions for the week. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.